Hello and welcome back. The following question states, analysis of a compound known to contain only magnesium, phosphorus, and oxygen gives this analysis. 21.8% magnesium, 27.7% phosphorus, and 50.3% oxygen. What is its empirical formula? Well, when doing empirical formula and they give us percents, we always assume that this sample is out of 100 grams. So this will make this 21.8 grams of magnesium, 27.7 grams of phosphorus, and 50.3 grams of oxygen. And when doing empirical formulas, you have to convert those grams to moles for your first step. So let's go ahead and start writing these out. And so for magnesium, we have 21.8 grams of magnesium. And if we want to go from grams of magnesium to moles of magnesium, we have to use the molecular weight of magnesium, which is 24.305 grams of magnesium for every 1 mole of magnesium. Grams and grams cancels, and we end up getting 0.897 moles of magnesium. And we're going to do the same thing for the other two components, so for phosphorus and oxygen. So for phosphorus, we have 27.7 grams of phosphorus multiplied by 1 mole of phosphorus divided by 30.974 grams of phosphorus. Grams and grams of phosphorus cancels out, and we're left with moles, and this is equal to 0.894 moles of phosphorus. And the same thing for oxygen. Oxygen has 50.3 grams of oxygen multiplied by the molecular weight, which is 15.999 grams of oxygen, or 1 mole of oxygen. Grams and grams cancel out, and we have 3.156 moles of oxygen. Once we determine the amount of moles, we then determine what is the smallest number of moles that we have, because we're going to divide everything by that value to get a ratio. Because remember, the empirical formula is the most simplistic formula that you can have and just shows the relative ratios of each component to one another. So we can divide everything by 0.894, and when we do that, we get magnesium, phosphorus, and oxygen. We divide everything, we get roughly 1, 1, and 3.5. Well, you never want a decimal for your empirical formula, so we have to multiply this by a factor in order to get it to a whole number. So we multiply everything by 2 in order to make these whole numbers. So magnesium 2, phosphorus 2, and oxygen 7. So remember, when you're solving this problem, you always want to convert your percentages to grams, and you're just going to assume this sample is out of 100 grams. Once you do that, you convert everything from grams to moles by using the weights of the atomic weights, and you get the moles of each of your components. Once you do that, you divide by the smallest number of moles to get your ratios. If you have a decimal, you multiply by a value in order to get to the next whole number. So in this case, we multiplied everything by 2. We get our empirical formula to be Mg2P2O7. Thank you.